Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out a pair of true wireless earbuds that's not just a pair of true wireless earbuds. The pair that we're going to be checking out is the Angry Miao Cyberblade. Now first off, this is not a cheap pair of earbuds. It does come in retailing at $350, although right now on Amazon you can pick it up for about $315. And essentially what it is yes, it's a pair of true wireless earbuds, but it comes with a dock that also mixed with the case makes this an all-around like entertainment system. Like if you were to listen to a surround sound system at home, or you're used to using a gaming headset, if you're going to be gaming on your PC or your consoles or handhelds or whatever, this one pair of earbuds can technically replace all of that. So we'll get into a lot of what this pair has to offer. We're going to talk about the features, we're going to talk about the sound, and we're going to talk about what all comes inside the box and see if it actually could be worth the $315 price tag. So to start with, this is a completely unique setup, all the way from the packaging to the setup of the whole device, the earbuds, the case. I honestly have not seen anything like it. So it already just kind of stood out just from looking at what all comes with these. Obviously it comes with your earbuds. It also comes with a very unique round case, which we'll talk about. It comes with a base, which allow you to use these wired into different things like consoles and PCs and handhelds, which we'll get into that as well. It also comes with two different type of cables. It comes with a USB-C to USB-C, and it also comes with a USB-C to USB-A. Now this is what I use to have it plugged into my PC. And then as far as the ear tips, it actually comes with 5 sets of silicone ear tips and 3 different sets of foam ear tips. So basically if you prefer foam or silicone and getting the right size, they definitely have you covered all out of the box. Now another thing that makes this pair unique is it actually uses 3 system onboard chips. So most of the time we're used to seeing a chip in maybe one earbud or possibly both, but because of the base that you get with these, they also have a chip in there as well, which doubles as your DSP or your amplifier. It also allows for that really quick connection, because if you use the base, you can switch these into a gaming mode, which actually has less latency than the SteelSeries like Arctic Pro lineup, which again, that's impressive because this is a pair of earbuds. But also by using this base, you can switch it into 3 different modes. Now that gaming mode is what allows you to have the low latency. There's also a movie mode, which allows you to have 7.1 surround sound. And then there's the music mode, which if you're going to be using the dock, it's trying to give you studio sound. So it is definitely different than when you're going to be using these earbuds in Bluetooth mode. And speaking of the Bluetooth mode, it has Bluetooth 5.2, but it only has AAC and SBC playback. So I was kind of surprised there's no high-end Bluetooth codecs, especially given the price tag of this product. But I didn't notice any kind of compression in the audio. I noticed that everything came through extremely clean. And if you do want to have it where you're using these on your PC, but also have it connected to your phone, there's not technically any multi-point connectivity, but if you're on your computer and somebody calls in, you simply just touch the dial that's on the dock twice and it'll switch over so that you can take that phone call. But the dock is allowing you some different kind of controls. It actually turns into a volume knob whenever you have it docked and plugged in to your PC. And another thing that I also thought was interesting, you do have to use the dock the first time to be able to have that wired mode. But once you do that, and if you only have the case with you, the case also doubles as a wired connection that you can plug into like your Steam Deck or your Switch or whatever. It basically mimics a lot of the features that you get when you're using that dock. And again, that's impressive because it's allowing you a lot of the flexibility that you don't get with normal earbuds. It kind of reminds me of the LG Tone Freeze, where you can plug in 3.5mm cable into the case and it just transmits a wireless signal to your earbuds. Now this pair also has an app which you would use if you're going to be using these Bluetooth to your phone. And the app is kind of bare bones. There's not a lot of features that you can do within these, but this pair does have noise canceling, so you have the ability to switch it between the noise canceling on or your transparency mode, or you can just turn it off altogether. But also within the app, you can control the RGB lighting that's on the earbuds. So it is kind of nice that there's a few different options you can switch the lighting in. But if you don't want the lighting on, you can turn them off just by simply pressing the earbuds 3 times. And then really the only other thing the app gives you is some EQ boosters. So it's not like, preset EQ options. It's not giving you the ability to customize the EQ settings the way that you want. It's giving you a bass boost, a treble boost, and really just a balance mode. Now, I did find that I like the treble boost the most. This, in my opinion, just brought out vocals. And again, it doesn't try to tame down your bass or anything like that. So you can have a boomy sound, but also a bright sound at the same time. And that's just my personal listening preference. So I used it set to that the whole time. And I also left the noise canceling on because the noise canceling does affect the audio. It adds a little bit more boost in the low end. It makes it a little bit more boomier. But speaking of the noise canceling is actually very good on this pair. Although you only have your ability to just turn it on or go to transparency or turn it off. There's not different levels of noise canceling. But overall, I was very impressed at how well it blocked out everything around me. I mean, it blocked out everything like engine noises and AC units and all of that. And it also did a decent job of blocking out people talking. And the transparency mode on this pair was also impressive. The mics picked up everything in a very natural way. You don't hear a lot of digital noise or white noise. The mics don't seem to be too sensitive when it comes to that, but it does an excellent job of picking up people talking, so it's easy to carry on a conversation without actually taking the earbuds out of your ears. Now, if you are going to use these outdoors where you may want to hear your surroundings, this pair does have an IPX4 rating, which really just means it's fine against light rain and splashes and sweat and stuff like that, but definitely make sure you do not drop these into water. Now, moving over to talking about the battery life and the charging, because there's different ways that you can do this. If you put the case in the dock, it will charge the case that way. But the case is also a Qi wireless charging case, so you can drop it on any wireless charger that you already have. And the battery life on these, it's kind of hard to explain because there's different ways to get different battery life. Now, if you're just going to use these in regular Bluetooth mode, you're only going to get about 6 hours on the earbuds and about 24 hours using the case. Now, if you're going to use these in noise canceling mode, it's going to really drop you down to maybe around 4 hours on the earbuds and closer to 20 hours using the case. But if you're going to use these in the wired mode, so if you have the case connected to something or you have the dock connected to your PC or whatever, you're only going to get 4 hours out of the earbuds. And I think that's because there's so many different things that they're trying to send to the earbuds that it definitely pulls down on that battery life. But this pair does have a fast charge feature, although not extremely impressive compared to some of the other ones we've tested. On a 5-minute charge, you're only going to get 40 minutes of use. So I guess in a pinch, that's nice to get that, 40 minutes in a quick charge if you're heading out the door. But we've definitely seen better on a lot of the newer earbuds that we've tested. Now, moving over to looking at the case and the earbuds themselves, the case is fairly large. Now, again, I think that's because it has the ability to kind of double as a wired amplifier / transmitter, depending on what you're plugging it into. So it's not as pocketable as other earbuds that we've tested. On the back, you can see the USB-C input. And on the bottom, you can see a magnetic strip. Now, this is what connects it to the dock. But again, you don't have to use that. You can just sit it on any wireless charger. And there's also a pairing button located on the bottom as well. Now, on the front, there is one single indicator light. And this is what allows you to gauge how much battery life is on the case. And the lid on the case is actually removable. You just take it off. There's no hinge to have it pull back. So once you open up the lid, you can see the earbuds sitting in here. And if you've ever played the game Horizon Zero Dawn, these earbuds technically just looks like the earpiece that she has the whole time in the game. It's kind of a futuristic look. Again, it does have RGB lighting, which makes them stand out. And it doesn't use touch controls. It actually uses a squeeze gesture that's kind of right at the tip of the triangle. And this allows you to control everything but the volume. Sadly, there's no volume control and the app doesn't allow you to switch around controls. So you are going to have to go into your device to actually turn the volume up. But again, like I said earlier, if you are using the dock where your case is docked to your PC or handheld or console or whatever, the top of the lid turns to become your volume dial. I really like this feature. It looks really good on my desktop. It's nice and clean. And it also has RGB on the dock, which just adds just a different look to my desktop. Now, the earbuds also have smart sensors, but these smart sensors work a little bit differently. It just kind of works independent of each other. So if I take the right earbud out, the audio will stop playing out of the right earbud, but the left earbud will continue to play, and vice versa. If somebody comes up to talk to you, you're technically going to have to take both earbuds out for it to pause completely, and you be able to talk to whoever comes up to you, which, again, that's weird. Maybe they can fix that in a firmware update where it just pauses altogether once you take one earbud out. But again, I haven't seen that on another pair of earbuds either. Now, if you are going to use these for taking phone calls, the earbuds do have 6 microphones total. It also has environmental noise canceling, so it is trying to block out your surroundings and focus in on your voice. Now, if you are going to use the microphones in wired mode, basically like where your case is docked and again plugged into a PC, you can also push the volume knob, push it once, and it will mute your microphone, basically like you would do on a gaming headset. So there is a lot of flexibility to this pair, but you guys can check out a mic test by listening to a sample here.
So here is a mic test using the Cyberblade True Wireless Earbuds. And overall, I'm very impressed with how well it picks up my voice, which I kind of think it needs to, especially when it's trying to do so many things, especially be a gaming set of earbuds as well. So this is what it would sound like while taking a call, but also while gaming on your PC. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is how it would sound if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. And like I mentioned earlier with the battery life, where it just kind of depends on how you use these, same thing goes with the sound. If you're going to use these in Bluetooth mode, the app gives you some different boosters that you can turn on. It sounds a lot like the Sony XM4s, but with a little bit more thump in the low end. I was really impressed, and as a bass head, I was happy with the way that these sounded. But if you're going to use these in wired mode and plugged into a console or your PC, I noticed that the music was more studio quality like it turns boosters off. It tries to give you not necessarily like a flat reference sound, but it is a lot more balanced. The treble doesn't seem to be as bright. The bass doesn't seem to be as boomy, but it still has that U-shaped sound signature. And I noticed no matter if I was listening in Bluetooth or wired or whatever mode, vocals always stood out front. Now, if you switch it over into the movie mode, I noticed that it leans a little bit too much towards the mids and the treble. It's just not as enjoyable to listen to. The bass tends to kind of flatten out altogether. So again, I think this is just so that it will focus on dialogue and hearing subtle things, but it just takes the life out of the sound. So I wasn't a huge fan of the movie mode. But the gaming mode is trying to boost a little bit of everything. The bass is a lot more punchier. The treble is cleaner. It's not as bright as it is in music mode. It's trying to focus a little more on the mids, which is pulling dialogue forward. And again, if you're used to playing first-person shooters, you want to be able to hear footsteps and stuff like that. That is a mode you'd want to leave it in, but I just kind of left it in music mode all the time, and I think that fit all of my needs without needing to switch from one to the other. And as far as the soundstage and the sound imaging, this is a very open sounding earbud. Being able to tell where things are coming from, this one does really good at, because that's what it's focused on. So really, my overall opinion is this. Yes, this is not a cheap pair, but it's not a pair that I would compare to something else. I think you're paying for the fact that this is new technology. You're getting the ability to use this in a lot of different ways, so it can replace your earbuds, it can replace your headphones, it can replace your gaming headset, and it allows you to be able to use it with handhelds and consoles and PCs and your phone. So I really have enjoyed using this, and it has replaced me going from one thing to the other. So I can see where a lot of people would be interested in it. But the technology, it's new. There's some things in here that I wish that they would update. I do wish that it had volume control on the earbuds. I also wish that they had some software for your PC to be able to customize some of the EQ settings, or maybe tone down the 7.1 surround sound and just play with some things more with your PC. It's just basically all or nothing once you have it docked. But speaking of the dock, I do like the aesthetic that it adds to my desktop. I do like the RGB lighting. I'm kind of a sucker for that. So I think this is a product that's kind of showing us the future of earbuds and what earbuds are really capable of. So if you want new technology, you might, be willing to spend the $315 or $350. I am very impressed and I see the value in it, but I can also see where some people might want to wait and see if it comes down or see where technology goes from here. But guys, that's my video on the Angry Miao Cyberblade True Wireless Earbuds. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.